Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a Carey special. This is a very easy fly. It is a fly that we're using a different material, but what we're going to use on this fly is pheasant rump. Now, if you hunt and you get pheasants, there's a lot of uses for that whole skin, and I'm going to make a video on that after I do this fly. But there's a lot of uses for pheasant on that whole skin. This is pheasant rump, and this is basically what it looks like. The hook that I have in a vise, this is a size 4. You could tie these from size 4 to 14. And this large size like this, I would use this as a nighttime fishing fly, wet fly on the on any of your large rivers, West Branch of the Delaware for trout. You can use them on smallmouth rivers at nighttime, big wet fly drifting. They'll go ahead and hit that. But the thread I'm going to use is black. This is 8/0 Hemingway thread, and we're going to put a base of thread starting behind the eye. You can start even one eye length back. We're going to get a base of thread on here. I'm going to take my thread back maybe about halfway. I'm going to put weight on here, and I just want that weight on the, I'm going to keep that weight on the front like 1/3 maybe. Just want a little bit of weight to help get it through the film. I'm going to take, I have 15 thousandths lead-free wire. I'm going to attach it just about halfway, at about halfway. And putting thread down, when you put the thread down, your wire is not going to move. If you wrap wire on top of your thread, that's definitely not going to move. You can put the lead wraps on first. You see, I'm getting most of it more or less in the middle. I kind of want a neutral buoyancy, I guess you could say. You could even tend it to the rear a little bit to ensure that the head of the fly will be higher than the butt section when it's drifting, when it's swinging through the current. You know, the head of the fly is, that's the way they're coming to the top. We're going to put that on there. That's about enough. Like I said, I just want some to get it through the current. Help get it through the water column there a little bit. Now we'll secure this. And now the Carey special, this is going to be an olive one. You know, using a wet fly, this is more of a searching pattern, especially at night or even in the daytime. Just swinging a nice big wet fly is more of a searching pattern. So you can use it, put a tail on it, or you don't have to put a tail on it. Gonna stop about where it hangs at the barb. I have 2 of these rump feathers plucked, but I'm just going to put a tail on it. I'm going to take the take one of these. I want to get to the more stiffer ones. So these are pretty stiff right in through here. Go ahead and break them off. And make that tail about half the length of the hook shank. And we could go ahead and tie that in. Put a wrap under the tail. And wrap that forward. No sense in cutting if you don't have to. And bring that thread back. Now for the body, you can use a variety of materials for the body. You can use anything from peacock herl to chenille to just plain dubbing. You can use pheasant tail if you want to make this an all pheasant fly. You can use an olive or a complementary color depending on what color you make. So I'm going to use a chenille, an olive chenille, and I'm going to pluck a little bit of the end off there. If I could get this, let me try this side. There we go. Got some of those threads already sticking out on that side, so I'm going to go ahead and tie that in there. And bring that thread up close to the top there. I'm going to stay at least one eye length from the eye of the hook. Then we can go ahead and wrap this. This would also be, I'm just thinking of uses for this in pulling a wet fly around on a bass pond. Good idea there. We're going to bring that up to the thread and tie that off. Now that I'm thinking about it, you could go ahead and put a rib on this if you wanted. You don't have to. No sense in making it any harder than necessary. Go ahead and trim this off. Now I'm going to take the fresh pheasant rump, and I want to get, you can see on here, you can see that thick stem. I want to get to where it's relatively soft or skinny, that stem. These rump feathers blend pretty nice to that. I'm going to go ahead and see how I pulled it all back. I can actually trim it and give it the crew cut at once. At one time. There's the crew cut, but it's a little bit long, so I'm going to go ahead and nip that closer. Now I'm going to tie this in with the concave side to the shank. And that crew cut's there we go. It was a little long. I'm going to tie this in. Now I'm going to take my hackle pliers. I'm actually going to take my pinch on hackle pliers, my delicate ones, and I'm going to try to get close to that stem, because we want all of these long hackles. Grab that, kind of pull them down there a little bit. There we go. And now I'm going to fold them to the one side as I'm going. And just fold them back as you're going. You can see with that small stem, it didn't take up much space on the hook shank. And then when I get to where I'm up to that the end of that hackle, I can take off those pliers as long as I'm holding it. Then we can tie this in. We can go ahead and nip off that hackle tip. Yeah, there's a couple of shorties in there. Just gonna trim that out. Come on. I even get it. Wow. I'm going to hold everything towards the rear. I'm going to come back on it just slightly, just to encourage those feathers to go towards the rear. Kind of divide that up there a little bit. And just wrap that head. turn it around so I can see this side. I could go ahead and whip finish. Put some head cement on there. Give it the poke and snip first. Clean my brush up. Get some head cement on there. This is a large fly, large head. You should not get any head cement inside the eye with this. No excuses. And it'll be basically like that. Just about like that when you're fishing it. Just look like a nice big bite. Something that's large and kind of pulsating with the water. And that'll be something for them to taste out. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please leave comments, questions, suggestions. Please visit my sponsors and let them know that I sent you. If you'd like to purchase any flies that I make, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. If you don't see it there, just ask me in a message and we'll figure it out. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.